Well, today James has got a pretty good treat for you boys and gals, fellers, fellettes, as some might say. But it's gonna be great. You're gonna really enjoy this. I know I'm enjoying it. Maybe if you can kind of see it pulled something with the trailer, and I think, oh, some more weird tire tracks. That's what I kind of think, but you'll see here momentarily.
Alright, so I currently own two Bronco 2s. This one and that one. I had this one for a while and I just acquired that one. Now I got a little story for each one of them, and I got a little gripe. I don't want to be too fussy, but I got a gripe. So story on this one is a Canadian called me. He'd been paying storage on it for about 3-4 years, and he wasn't planning on coming back to America anytime soon. So he called me up and says, "Hey, you can go get that thing and you have it. I don't have to pay rent on, or I don't have to pay rent on a storage unit anymore." So I went and got it. It fired right up, fresh. We had to put a battery in it, and I think we had to put spark plugs in it. And then I welded the rear end up, and we took it to a tough trucking competition. It did pretty well at the tough trucking competition until it started running bad. I think the fuel filter might be plugged on it, but it still runs right now. Well, it ran last fall. It's been sitting for a couple months. So this one is pretty good running, driving shape. But this one here that I just got, it's got a 4-inch Skyjacker lift kit on it that's in pretty good shape, but the rest of the Bronco is obviously trash. Now, the story on this one was some folks from the Flathead drove this up here, took it down to Douglas Hill area, and they were mobbing it around, crashing it, thrashing it, so on and so forth. And when they got tired of it, they got it up on a hill, and whether it broke down or the engine seized up or I don't know what happened. Words, and they were done with it. So they got out and they pushed it off the hill, and it went down over several banks, and apparently it rolled somewhere along that, and then it hit the ice, and it went through the ice into the water, and that's where my gripe comes in at, is because you can bring a rig down to the reservoir and thrash it, tear it up, do whatever you want. That's a good time. I enjoy that. I encourage people to let a little steam off this way. But to abandon it in the reservoir or abandon it in general is not good. The Forest Service frowns upon it, the law enforcement gets involved, they frown upon it, and the way they're seeing it is that it's not worth it to even keep these areas open anymore, because they're having to go down and deal with stuff like this. The guy, the wrecker company that towed this out that I got this from, he's not getting paid by anyone because he had to go down and tow it out, and the owners are already back in the Flathead. You know, so like I said, I encourage you to go thrash a rig. Go destroy it. When you're done with it, call me. Call Sterling. You know, we'll come down there, we'll drag it out for you, and we'll either help you get it back to your house, or we'll take it and scrap of it properly, you know, and rather than leaving it in the lake and having to have... Can-Am had to go down and search this rig for bodies while it was in the water because they didn't know if anybody was still in it or not. You know, it was just a huge waste of everybody's time and money. So when you're done with the rig, just dispose of it correctly. And like I said, we'd take care of it, or whatever, you know. Just don't leave it down there. That's our resources that we're messing with, and I like to keep it open, and I know a lot of other people would. It's a lot of fun to go play down there, but this is the kind of stuff that helps get it shut down. So that's my gripe. But the plan from here is, this thing was underwater for over a day. I'll put a picture in of it through the ice. I got a picture of it. So motor's full of water, the tranny's full of water. I'm sure the axles and the transfer case are too. But this thing's got a almost brand new 4-inch Skyjacker on it. So we're gonna take the front and rear suspension, put it into this one, and then we'll have this one lifted up. We'll be able to put some bigger tires on it, and then We might keep the axles, drive lines, maybe the transfer case, and any good interior parts that'll swap over. We'll keep that, but the rest of this thing is going to scrap iron where it belongs, not in the bottom of a lake. So
How do you even do that to a door? It's impressive. Oh, for this little beauty.
well, got this thing all blocked up in the driveway here, so I can get this front lift kit out. I got shocks loose. Coil spring was already half loose. Sway bar pitman arm. Got some of the bolts out of the axle drop brackets. So it's come along. I'm gonna pull that drive line out and save it. Since it's a tough truck, we might reuse them again, or we won't break them, so we'll need them. There's brake lines, and then the hood wouldn't open real good, so I used the skid steer to open that, and the door was dragging on the ground, so I used the skid steer to close it ever so gently. Then let's look at the front suspension on. It's just this rear suspension. It's actually a pretty nice lift. It's got all spring, no block, and of course the rear drive line. It's also in it. So keep pecking away at it here. Nice and sunny out. Figure out how to get it back onto a trailer so we can go to the trailer. I got the front end loose in this thing. It's all just, the only thing holding it in now is the front drive line I didn't unbolt. There's a slip back up in there, so I'm going to try and just kind of roll it out and slip it at the same time, but she's all loose. That front end will be ready to come out. Not quite as much fun as I had hoped for. Sterling, he's in here fixing a couple weekends ago, oopsie daisy. What'd you do, Sterling?
Well, I sheared all my studs off on the hubs.
Yeah, but you were able to drill and easy out them all, weren't you?
Yep, thankfully. That was a good day.
And I believe he's got some of these new fancy hardened whatevers. Those ought to last a good, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, huh?
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you think so? How long are they gonna last? Yeah. Alright, update time. It's dark out now. Still got the new studs in. Sorry I'm out of breath. We're just ripping parts off of rigs like it's going out of style. I went ahead and ripped the rear end out, left the drive line on it and stuff because probably come in use one day. Especially since it's going on a tough truck, you know. Up in there is a transfer case that's full of water, but we might take her out and keep her. I don't know. But I think that's good for tonight. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Looks like it still drives. We got a flat tire. We're not too worried about it. As you can tell, it makes a lot of horsepower. Yeah, it's a pretty quality unit. Now it's time to tear it apart and put it together. We got this Bronco tore apart last night. We didn't do any filming because we were just boot scooting and boogieing to try and get these parts in here. But we got most of them in here now. A little update. It's got the drop bracket there. It's got the new shock and spring and brake line. This drop bracket's in. This side's not quite as far. Drop bracket. There's the other drop bracket. Pivot arm. Yeah, we should have her front end put back together tonight. I'll show it to you when it's good and ready. Well, Sterling, what do they call that? Where they only lift the front and...
The Carolina lean.
She's got a bit of the Carolina lean. Sterling thinks we should leave it this way, but
yeah, it's just for all the haters.
But I don't think we're going to fit our new tires back there with that much lift in the front and that much in the back. But I got another project I got to work on tomorrow, so we'll get back on this in a couple nights and get the rear end. I got some new tires, or some different tires. They're nowhere near new. Getting ready to start on the rear lift here. I want to show you guys just how easy it is to do this. You just go like, and just like that, you have a lifted Bronco. It's all buttoned up. We can put some nice bald 34, 10, 50, 15 TSLs on it. They're nice and old, but they seem to kind of clear. They'll rub that mud flap just a little bit. Front lift's all in. This wheel back here, she was all wallered out. As you can see by this one here, how big the hole is. So we just flipped some lug nuts over and put some washers on there. Did some derby car stuff. It'll be just fine. Free set of wheels. I'm into this thing for next to nothing. So that's what we're doing. So we're gonna wrap this video up here. In the next video, you will be seeing it out on its test drive. And thanks for watching.